ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Lie, 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 ya la lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya la lie, 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 lie. Please join me. Ya la lie, 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 lie. Ya la lie, 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 lie. Ya la lie, 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 lie. Ya la lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 ya la lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 lie. Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to this evening's Kabbalat Shabbat service. Whether you're joining us here in the room or online via our stream, it is wonderful to have you with us to pray. I'm Cantor Richard Newman, and Kabbalat Shabbat, it's a time when we come together as a community to welcome the Shabbat with joy and reflection. As we gather in the warmth and light of our sanctuary, we find ourselves in the heart of the Torah with Parashat Terumah, a portion rich in detail and deep in symbolism. In Parashat Terumah, we find the divine instructions given to Moses on Mount Sinai for the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, a portable sanctuary that would accompany the Israelites throughout their desert wanderings. God's command to let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them invites us to consider the many ways we create space for the divine in our lives and communities. The materials for the Mishkan, contributed from the heart by every Israelite, teach us about the importance of communal effort and sacredness imbued in our collective contributions. This evening, our service is further brightened by a special occasion, the naming of a child in our community, as we bestow a Hebrew name upon Scarlett Glicksman Otan later in our service. And in so doing, we link her to a chain of tradition that stretches back through generations. Just as the Israelites contributed their most precious possessions to create a dwelling place for the divine, we bring our most precious gifts, our children, into the covenant of our people. In so doing, we acknowledge the role each of us plays in building and sustaining our Jewish community, ensuring that it remains vibrant and a sacred space where God can dwell among us. As we work through our service today, you will find, for anybody who doesn't know, a copy of our prayer book in the front of the seat in front of you. And I would invite you to join me as we continue our service, as I invite the Glicksman Otan family up to join me in the lighting of the Shabbat candles. In just a moment, we'll sing the blessing together, which you will find on page 120. And please join me for the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, and I'll see you later in the service. And please join me as we continue our Kabbalat Shabbat service, our service for welcoming the Shabbat, with the singing of Lechu Neranena, which you will find on page 130. Please join me. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nekad mafana betota. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. 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 And we'll continue on page 138 with the singing of Lecha Dodi. And as is our minhag, our custom here at Congregation Sinai, we'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach the final of those verses, verse 9, at that point, I will ask you to please rise and face the door through which we came in this evening. Page 138 for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai. Shemul tiferet velitila, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, ki mekor habracha merosh mikerem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, toreri, kiva orech, kumi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi. Kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. please rise. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'sola, toch emunei yam segula. Boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. And please turn to page 144 as we come to our Chatzi Kaddish, our half Kaddish, where we mark the transition between our Kabbalat Shabbat service, our service for the welcoming of Shabbat, and our Ma'ariv service, our service for the evening. Page 144. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולם עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ותרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן מעלמה ויאמרו אמן. Page 146. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam And please join me as we continue reading together at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-ma'ariv aravim. Page 150. Ahavat olam bet Yisrael, amecha havta, amecha havta, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. Please be seated and join me on page 154 as we sing our Ve'ahavta together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha u'b'techa u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. And please join me at the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158. Mi chamocha bainim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Yai bye bye bim biddy bum, ya ba bye ba bim bum. Yai bye bye bim biddy bum, ya ba bye ba bim bum. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bye ba bim bum. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bye ba bim bum. ונאמר כי פן אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. And please join me in the English in the middle of page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And we'll continue with our V'shomeru, which you'll find on page 162. V'shomeru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And we'll continue on page 164 as we come to the heart of our service, to our Amidah. And I would ask you to please rise and join me in facing the ark. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatem. that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula livnei vneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש בשמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. And join me as we continue reading together at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And please join me in the middle of page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. And at the top of page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel and all people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael ba shalom. And we'll continue our prayers silently before we come back together on page 180 with our Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. While Shabbat is a time of joy and celebration, we know that when we come together to pray, there are those among us who are in need of healing. In just a few moments, we're going to sing Al Misha Berach together, which you'll find on page 371. And today, our community prays for all the hostages and all the wounded in the current situation in the Middle East. And we also pray for Lucy Adams Sarah bat Besi ben, Rivka Fegi bat Phyllis, Sapira bat Yehudit, Emily Bear, Simcha Meir ben Esther Malka, Nachmo ben Beilt, Moshe ben Chai Sarah, Joseph ben Lily Venatan, Eddie Clark, Katie Pels Davis, Marcia Fenson, Rosalind Flegel, Leonore Friedman, Lisa Frolkus, Susie Garrison, Marianne Garrick, Bonnie Gibson, David Goldenholtz, Jennifer Houston, Michelle Jacoby, Pat Kester, Rory Langois, Barbara List, Kathy Cruz, Deborah Lazovic, Gent Levy, Jack Marvin, Jim McDermott, Karen McDermott, Kathy Menchero, Donald Mensky, Bill Nikud, Jennifer O'Leary, Bob Radke, Mosey Ramirez, Bill Ross, Martha Ross, Micah Ross, Jeff Roth, Stella Schneider, Gary Siegel, Herbert Selden, Bobby Shafton, Gary Sobel, Ricky Spiegel, Deirdre Tischberg, Jen Volker, Leo Weinschell, Carol Fletcher, and Joseph Carrasco. And if there is anybody else that you're praying for today, I would invite you to hold their names in your hearts as we sing our Mishaberach together. Mishaberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imoteinu mekor habracha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. This week's Torah portion, Teruma, is the first in a series of parashiot that focus on the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary that the Israelites carried with them throughout their wanderings in the wilderness. Parashat Teruma presents the detailed design for the Mishkan, a sanctuary that both symbolically and literally ensures the continuous presence of God with the Israelites during their desert sojourns. The building of the Mishkan will unfold over the next few parashiot against the backdrop of the Exodus, including the Israelites' miraculous escape from Egypt, their passage through the Red Sea, the reception of the Torah at Mount Sinai, and of course, also the disconcerting incident of the golden calf. The latter, in particular, represents a critical moment of spiritual and leadership crisis, exposing the Israelites' susceptibility to doubt and idol worship without the presence of Moses. Thus, the directive to construct the Mishkan emerges as a divine strategy to reorient the Israelites, channeling their collective efforts towards a shared and sacred goal. This project was more than the erection of a structure. It was an act of healing and spiritual and communal rifts within the community. The establishment of the Mishkan represented a communal resurgence in faith, serving as a tangible renewal of their covenant with God, intricately bound by the varied contributions from each member of the community. And this collective endeavor highlights the vital importance of unity and interdependence within a healthy community. The varied materials of the Mishkan, generously donated by so many individual Israelites, showcase the essential role each person's unique contributions play in the greater communal fabric. Through this collaborative effort, the Israelites rediscovered their connection not only to God, but also to one another, reinforcing their shared identity and purpose as a covenant-bound community. Reflecting on this story encourages us to recognize the strength of collective action in forging sacred spaces that ground and support and even challenge us, upholding our shared principles and goals. Constructing the Mishkan demanded not just labor, but open dialogue and cooperation among the Israelites, emphasizing the value of collective participation. Consequently, the Mishkan transcends its role as a mere physical structure in the wilderness, becoming a timeless emblem of communal solidarity, resilience, and the pervasive spirit of the divine that unites us. That said, the sacred contents of the Mishkan offer a further lesson about the power of divine and human relationships. The Mishkan, we're told, housed essential ritual items, including the 7-branched menorah, the table of showbread, and the incense altar. The most sacred space, the Holy of Holies, safeguarded the ark, which contained both sets of the Ten Commandments, the ones Moses broke when he first descended Mount Sinai, alongside the intact tablets that replaced them, and also a jar of manna, the ultimate symbol of God's sustenance. This space, accessible only to the high priest and only once a year, underscores the sanctity of the divine presence. The necessity of the Mishkan, made all the more urgent by the golden calf incident, reflects an inherent human need for tangible connections to the divine realm. It also teaches us valuable lessons about interpersonal relationships and the essence of humility. It suggests that just as the Israelites sought a physical manifestation of the divine, our interactions with each other are enriched when they include tangible expressions of respect, understanding, and humility towards one another. Earlier, I mentioned the tablets of the commandments, which were initially revealed to the Israelites by Moses, but then became permanently invisible to them once they were housed within the ark. This transition from a visible revelation to a hidden presence mirrors the journey of humility. True humility involves moving from the forefront to the background, serving the greater good without the need for recognition, much like the tablets that continued to guide the people from within the ark, unseen but ever present. The ark itself, though rarely seen, was central to the Israelites' travels and was carried with great reverence. The care the Israelites took in safeguarding and transporting the Mishkan highlights the community's responsibility to protect what is sacred, even when it isn't directly visible. Humility involves recognizing our role in the larger story, understanding that we are part of the collective journey, and carrying forward traditions and values that transcend individual prominence. This centrality to Judaism can be seen throughout the Torah, including in the book of Numbers, where we find a text that has been incorporated into the traditional Torah service, though we in the Reform movement have chosen not to include it in our prayer books. Vayihi bin Soah Aharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai v'yafutzu oyevecha v'yanusu mesanecha mipanecha. When the ark was to set out, Moses would say, "Advance, O God, your enemies be scattered, and may your foes flee before you." While some have been uncomfortable with this text, justifiably viewing the scattering enemies as a militaristic idea, and if this is a view which is supported in the book of prophets, and which is probably, I would think, the reason we've cut it from our Reform liturgy. There are other texts which complicate this reading. In the book of 1 Samuel, we find the Israelites misusing the ark, erroneously treating it as if it were some sort of divine weapon. In this story, the Israelites are defeated in battle, and they respond by bringing the ark to the battlefield in the hopes that with the ark present, they will win. Ultimately, however, the Israelites are still defeated, and the ark is seized by the Philistines. The Israelites' mistake seems to have been to assume that bringing the ark means bringing God as a warrior onto the battlefield, which very much appears not to be its function. Moreover, when the Philistines eventually return the ark, they treat it with reverence and fear, a stark contrast to how the Israelites previously attempted to use it. This part of the narrative contributes to a collective learning process whereby the Israelites come to understand the importance of humility in their relationship with God. The ark's return serves as a reminder that success and blessing come from respecting and adhering to divine will, not from presumptuously displaying religious symbols and expecting that display to bring victory. The Israelites' mistake with the ark was to see it as a guarantor of divine power and support, whereas in fact it was only there to remind the people of the obligations imposed on them by the divine presence and guidance. We're told that atop the ark, 2 cherubim faced each other with wings outstretched, overshadowing the cover. This imagery evokes both divine oversight and divine protection, reminding us that our actions, visible or not, are always within the embrace of something greater. Humility is about acknowledging this greater presence in our lives, acting with the consciousness that our deeds contribute to a larger tapestry of communal and divine purpose. In embracing the hiddenness of the ark and the tablets, we're invited to cultivate a humility that recognizes the value of what lies beneath the surface. It's a call to serve with dedication and faith, knowing that our contributions, though they may not always be seen, are integral to the communal and spiritual fabric that we weave together. Humility, though inherently intangible and invisible, is essential to the vitality and continuity of our community, grounding us in a sense of purpose that transcends the individual and connects us to the eternal. The Mishkan was more than a mere structure. It was a manifestation of the Israelites' renewed commitment to their covenant with God, and a testament to the power of communal unity and the significance of every individual's contribution. The sacred artifacts within the Mishkan, from the menorah to the Ark of the Covenant, served as enduring symbols of our relationship with the divine and, importantly, with each other. They teach us about the balance between the visible expressions of our faith and the invisible values that underpin our communal life. The hiddenness of the tablets within the ark in particular invites us to embrace humility as a central tenet of our spiritual journey. This isn't about diminishing ourselves, but rather recognizing that we are magnified by our participation in a larger narrative, one that binds us together in a shared mission that transcends individual achievements. And the stories of the ark, from its presence in battle to its reverent return, remind us that our strength and victory lie not in overt displays of power and attempts to control others, but in adherence to our core values and our respect for the sacred. Let us therefore carry forward the lessons of the Mishkan into our community and our lives. Let us strive to build and nurture spaces, both physical and spiritual, that reflect our shared values and our collective purpose. Let us honor the contributions of each individual member of our community, visible or not, recognizing that each act of kindness, each word of support, each gesture of humility weaves a stronger, more resilient fabric of community. May our journey together be one of unity, humility, and shared purpose, guided by the enduring lessons of the Mishkan. Every person brought into this world represents something new, something that never existed before, something original and something unique. It's up to us to know and recognize that this person is unique in the world, a singular character and personality, and that there's never been anyone like this child before. For if there had been, there would have been no need for this new life to come into the world. At this point in our service, it is my pleasure to ask Kelsey, Ben, Scarlett, and their respective grandparents to please join me on the bima as we bestow Scarlett's Hebrew name on her as part of our service today.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to bring this child into the covenant of the people of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahaknesia bivrit am Yisrael.
A person has three names, the Midrash tells us. One by which her parents call her, one by which she is known to the outside world, and a third, the most important of all, the name that her own deeds have procured for her. Today, we bestow upon Scarlett the Hebrew name that her parents have chosen for her, the name that will link her to our tradition. In Judaism, the giving of a name is a sacred act, which not only connects the newborn to generations of Jews who came before, but also confers our hope that she will acquire the positive traits implied by the meaning of the name, as well as the ideals lived by people who bore the name before her.
O God, we give thanks to you for the gift of our child, who today enters into the covenant of our people. Keep her from all harm, and grant that she may be a source of joy to us and to all her dear ones. Be with us and give us health and length of our days. Teach us to rear her with care and affection, with wisdom and understanding, that she may be a faithful child of our people and a blessing to the world. We give thanks to you, O Lord of life. As you wonder at the world around you, may you remain ever open to both happiness and the pain of those you encounter in the world.
As you cry for food and comfort now, so may you someday cry out to correct the injustices of the world, to help clothe the naked and feed the hungry.
So her Hebrew name is going to be Sarah, and her great-great-grandmother was Seraphim, and she emigrated here from Hungary and moved to Milwaukee. And carrying on that tradition many generations later, she will be Sarah.
Our God, and God of all generations, we are grateful for new beginnings, for the bond of new life that links one generation to another, Thankful for the blessings of family,
for the love and care that
bring meaning and happiness to our lives. We rejoice with our children at the birth of your child, our grandchild. May they grow together as a family in health and in strength, in harmony, wisdom, and love, their home filled with words of Torah and acts of kindness. May we be enabled to share in the joy of seeing this child grow into adulthood, a blessing to her family, her people, and to all of humanity.
And as we bestow Scarlett's Hebrew name of Sarah Bat Binyamin Bekelsi, I would ask you to please rise and join me as we sing our Shehechianu, our blessing where we acknowledge how fortunate we are to have been permitted to reach this time together. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has given us life, sustained us, and brought us to this joyous time. And Simon Tov, O Mazel Tov, O Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, O Mazel Tov, O Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, O Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael. And I would ask you to please remain standing and turn to page 586 as we begin to bring our service to a close, first with the Aleinu, after which we will have our Kaddish Yatom, our mourners Kaddish. Then we will have some announcements from within the congregation before we end with our Kiddush. For now, please join me in the middle of page 586 for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו In a few moments, we're going to recite our Kaddish Yatom, our mourners Kaddish together, which you'll find on page 598. And this week, our community remembers the following members of the IDF, of the Israeli Defense Forces, who've fallen within the past week: Noam Chava, Rotem Sahar Hadar, Omer Sarah Banjo, Tova Malayev, Netanel Yaakov Elkovi, Yair Cohen, and Ziv Chen. And we also remember Stan Aronoff, who died within the past 30 days, and the following who've died within the past year. Dick Yoon, Yehuda Yaneh, Bill Fox, Marcia Reese, Maxine Cohen, Dr. Joseph Bear Marcus, Ron Sinclair, Margot Hirsch, Jim Stillman, James P. Karolovich, John D. Lubotsky, Kermit Bott, Ruth Lowenstein, Foster Padway, Geraldine Schmidman, Jack Zivell, Jacqueline Wagner, Doris Gendelman, Harriet Hackman, Marianne Greenebaum, Robert Sanderson, Shirley Slomowitz, Ronald Abel, Leonard Lowasser, Richard Strauss, James Ansfield, Natalie Winowich, Carol Ann Willems, Thomas Yanni, Victor Rabb, and Dr. Hermes Hoffman. And we also mark the Yahrzeit, the anniversary of death, of Sam Axelman, Clarence Becker, Sarah Lynn Bernstein, Charles Brenner, David Brickman, Gilbert S. Feldman, Jerry Feldman, Eldred James Fishbane, Belle Freed, Dr. Leon Gilman, Warren Goldstein, Alan L. Horowitz, Tina Huang, Jacqueline Kravitz, Dr. J. Larkey, Dr. Jules D. Levin, Adolphe J. Levy, David Levy, Dr. Hazel A. Lowenstein, Joseph Rochford Lubar, Rose May, Edward Michelot, Oscar A. Rosoff, Clarence Schmidt, Marcia Siegel, Tessie Stemmerman, Shirley Wagner, Abram Warschauer, and Nicholas Winowich. And if there is anybody else you are remembering today, or anybody whose name I unintentionally mispronounced, I would invite you to please share their names with us now. And please join me on page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imeru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imeru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu va'al kol Yisrael va'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imeru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all people, to which we say Amen. Please be seated. And do we have somebody expecting to share some announcements with us this evening?
Good evening. I'm Mike Weinschel, and on behalf of the board, I get to enlighten you with tonight's announcements. We're grateful for the contributions made this week to our Sinai community in memory of Sarah Bernstein, Warren Goldstein, Sheldon Glussman, Dr. Hazel A. Lowenstein, Shirley Wagner, Merle G. Werner, Richard T. Werner, and Nicholas Winowich. Join us for the following upcoming programs. Social Justice Meeting, Monday, February 19th, 5:15, here at Sinai. Attention SAGES, which stands for Seniors Aging Gracefully and Engaged at Sinai. There is a new Brain Health and Wellness Workshop series that will run for 6 weeks beginning Tuesday, February 20th from 7 to 8:15 p.m. via Zoom and run through March 26th. Register on Eventbrite or call the Sinai office. This is probably the most important announcement. Sinai's Brotherhood is having our second annual Sinai in Spades Hold'em Poker Tourney. That will take place a week from Saturday, February 24th at 7 p.m. here at Sinai. Our defending champion is with us tonight, so if you want to have a crack at Larry Tarnoff, please join us on February 24th. It is free for members of the Brotherhood and Women of Sinai, and $18 for non-members. There will be snacks and refreshments, and it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you can be there. The following morning, Sunday, February 25th at 10 o'clock, join Israel Connection and the Brotherhood for a Q&A session with former Israeli Air Force pilot and aerobatics instructor Tom Rotem. That is Sunday, February 25th. That will be in the worship and learning space. And please consider participating in Mishloach Manot. Those are Purim gifts. Purim is coming up middle of March. It's a lovely way to celebrate the holiday by giving gifts of food to our Sinai community and Chavarim, the Milwaukee Jewish Adult Special Needs. A portion of every purchase will benefit the Jewish Community Pantry, and you can order by the order form that you got in the mail or online through the e-news, or if you don't get that, you can call the office. All orders are due by March 7th. Please refer to the Tuesday and Friday Sinai e-news for the latest Sinai programming, registration information, live stream, and Zoom links. And Mazel Tov to Scarlett and her family, and Shabbat Shalom.
And as we bring our service to a close, it is my pleasure to once again ask Scarlett, Kelsey, and Ben to join me up on the bima as we bring our service to a close with a kiddush. And I would ask you to please rise and turn to page 123. Just a moment. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'achalta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. And please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Thank you for joining us for our services this evening, and I will wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And just a reminder, if you do see anybody here you don't recognize, please just take a moment to introduce yourselves to them. And as we move into the foyer for our Oneg, let's continue the conversation. How can we bring the Mishkan into our lives? What can the Mishkan mean to us as progressive Reformed Jews? Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for being part of our services today.
I watched her just go.
There's got to be a message there.
Thank you for doing all this.